Hi guys, I'm Gabriella from Postcards from Hawaii, and in this video I'm going to show you how to make a haku lei, which is Hawaiian for flower crown. This is a very simple, cost-effective lei. You just need one mixed bouquet of flowers from the supermarket. You can use some leaves and flowers from your garden as well if that is an option for you. These are great for weddings, for christenings, baby showers, maybe a themed party, or even if you just want something fun to do at home. Before we go into making, I just want to give you some tips about picking your flowers. You don't want to have big flowers because bigger means heavier. This is about the perfect size. Any bigger than this means they're going to start weighing down on your face when you wear them. You want to go for a flower that has a sturdy base so that when you thread it onto the needle, they're not going to fall apart. And preferably flowers that have a flat base so that you can push them flush together and not have quite a big stem hanging out at the back. Also, you're going to need far less than you think. This bouquet is half of the original bouquet, the other half is on my head. Don't cut them all to begin with because you can keep the rest and put them in a vase and put them in your kitchen or your bedroom or whatever you fancy. What you'll need to make your flower crown is a tape measure for measuring your thread, 2 pieces of ribbon that are 50 centimeters long. This is to attach to the end of your lei to make it adjustable. A pair of scissors to cut your thread, a pair of secateurs to cut your flowers and leaves, some extra strong thread, flowers and leaves, and an upholstery needle that is 6 to 9 inches long. Now traditionally a lei would be made with a needle that has a hook instead of an eye, but unfortunately those are very hard to get hold of outside of the islands, so we are using an upholstery needle. The longer the needle, the more flowers you can thread on and then push in one go. This just makes making the lei quicker, but you could use a shorter needle, it would just take more time. Step 1. Once you have selected your flowers, is to cut them. You want to be cutting as close to the heads as possible without damaging the flowers. Continue to cut your flowers, but you won't need that many. You can put some petals in there as well. Previously I would have used a rose, but I couldn't find any roses in the supermarket. So I am using one of the flowers that I've picked from the bush behind me. If you're using petals, just carefully pull your petals from the flower. We have all of our flowers ready to go. The next step is to measure out and cut your thread. 2 meters! Got there in the end. We have our thread. Now we're going to thread the thread onto the needle and pull it through until the needle is halfway and it's all doubled up here. We're going to take the 2 loose ends and tie them in a couple of knots. Start threading in your flowers. So you want to thread your needle right through the center of your flower. Okay, so we have a bunch of flowers onto the needle, and now we're going to push it down onto the thread. And when I push it down onto the thread, I want to leave about 10 centimeters. This is so that when I keep pushing, it's not going to just fall straight off the end. Plus we need this extra string just to be able to tie the ribbons on at the end, and we're not kind of floundering with hardly any left. So very gently we're going to take the whole set and push them down onto the thread And about there. So you can just continue threading your, wow, this dress is really against me today. Bad choice. Maybe I'll just do this. There we go. I don't have to worry about it. There we go. Now when you get to a certain point, you want to start measuring it up against your head just to see how far you have to go. Obviously be careful, there's a needle attached to the other end. But so that's probably almost halfway around my head. So I know that I've got pretty much double left to go. Let's hold it up and we're done. Okay, so once you have the amount of flowers you want on there, I'm going to cut the thread at the needle, like so, and then you're going to put a couple of knots in the loose ends, just like you did right at the beginning. Now, next step is to tie your ribbon as close as you can to the flower. Make sure it's extra secure before you go cutting it off. Okay, so now it's attached, and you can go ahead and cut your string, and then you can go ahead and do the other side. And now it's ready to tie on. Here is your flower crown, your haku, your Hawaiian inspired flower crown.